Hi, I'm back with another planner video. In this video, I wanted to talk to you about my planner routines. I had someone ask me about what my routines are in my journal. I wanted to give you guys a feel for what it is that I do typically on a daily, weekly, monthly, or partially monthly basis in my planner. As I'm doing this, I'm going to look at a collection here that I had made regarding planner routines. Let me zoom you in here. This actually isn't what I do anymore, but this is what I used to want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and update this while I make this video for you. So daily routine, my daily routine in the past would entail looking at what I actually did, checking off completed tasks, checking my habit tracking, checking project tracking, checking my Ano app on my iPad, brain dump, syncing Ano, looking at my project journal, looking at my tickler files, and looking at my girls' journals. Right now, I would say I do actual activities, but differently than how I did it before. Now I just, let me show you. On any given day of the week, I'll write in some notes as to what was taking place at a certain time of the day. And then I'll write in what we actually did throughout the day. And then I will check off what I actually accomplished. That is a task either on one of my recurring lists of tasks or something that I plan to do, like an appointment. So if I had like something, like say cleaning the bathroom, and that's what I was doing at that time, I put it in as a task. It's not, I'm sorry, like cleaning the bathroom here. I'll write it in as a task after I did it and then check it off. But I won't necessarily write on here that I want to clean the bathroom that day because I might not get to it. But if I do get to it and I do get to the laundry, I do clean the kitchen or whatever, I'll write down that task as to that's what I was doing. So basically, here's a blank day. For Sunday, there's nothing there but the fact that we're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if on Sunday I decide to finish reading a book that I'm working on, I'll write that down here and then I'll check that off as a task instead of as a note, because it was a task somewhere in my journal. It was written down as a task. So that's basically what I do in my journal. Hopefully that'll be a little clearer if you watch this month's Planner in Use video. Hopefully that'll become clear. So that takes the actual activities and the checking off completed. The next thing I would do, not necessarily in this order, but I would also check off all of my habit tracking tasks. I would go in here for that day and write down or highlight the tasks that I did complete for that day. And then check project tracking. That's not necessarily something that I am going to be doing every day. So right now I'm just going to update this and write, maybe this is a weekly thing. And then check Ano. I do that. Brain dump. I've been trying to figure out where to do my brain dump. To have some kind of inbox, so to speak, in my journal. And now I feel like I actually have a good method for that. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that this is something that I've been playing with This collection is something that I've been playing with lately. And this is basically a list of all of my next actions. I don't know if you guys have been following me on YouTube for a while, you might remember the video I did on tracking push tasks. I had a list in the back of my journal with a bunch of tasks that I wanted to see how many times I would push it off, how many months I would push it off. But what I found is that, and I was doing that weekly too. If you look back at that video, you'll see that I was doing that not only each month but also each week. But what I found that I feel like this works better and it requires a lot less rewriting is writing down all of my tasks here on this spread, and across the top writing down the number of the week. So let me zoom you in so you can see. So basically here I have get my daughter's PSAT scores, and this was just being pushed off over and over and over again, not necessarily because I wasn't trying to get it done, but something crazy happened, with her being homeschooled and stuff. It was just really hard to track her scores down. So I finally accomplished that in week 32 of this year. So I filled in that I got it done on that week, and then I also filled in the box to the left of it so that I can quickly see what tasks need to be completed and which tasks don't, without having to look across the entire row. So this is basically where I'm gonna brain dump. Whenever I have another task that is a next action and not necessarily a whole project, I will just keep adding to this list. And I have some space here too. And I realized too that there's some tasks like filling in my YouTube journal or working in my gardening journal that I had on this this list. But then I realized that that's something that I want to do on a recurring basis. So I have a separate list for weekly tasks. And then as I do it over and over again, I'll fill that in that way. This list is specifically for things that it's one and done. Once I accomplish this task, it is done. I don't have anything else to do with it. But if there are multiple steps to a task, then that either needs to go into a project type of tracking method, which I have not completely figured out yet, or it needs to go on a recurring basis. And maybe this is the answer to that too, like with projects. Like say I want to read a certain book, and these are books right here. So as I read a chapter, I just note that here, but after a certain amount of time, this task is going to be complete. So this is kind of like a project, and this is also kind of like what I have going on in the front of my journal, whereas every time I work on a certain project, I'll fill in a box. I'm not sure if I'm going to get rid of this at some point, because I really like the fact that, in my other collection here, I have the weeks running across the top, so I know exactly when I worked on a particular task. Here, it's just if I work on it, fill in a box, and I don't really have a concept as to how the frequency as that I worked on something. All I know is that I haven't worked on my wedding pictures, but I have worked on my quarterly report, and it took me 4 days, I guess, to work on it. So, I really like this a lot better. So I think, this is going to replace this project tracking collection. Probably in my next journal, I'll probably eliminate this. I'll keep using this until this journal is used up to see if this might serve some other purpose or not. So I just wanted to give you that bit of information as far as my planner routine goes with those things. So, project tracking. So that's something that I want to do weekly. You know, I feel good about checking this page weekly. And checking a note is something that we do. Oh yeah, so brain dump is, you know, would be on this next actions page. I can just brain dump onto this. You know, if there's something else that I have to do, I'll just write it down here, and then when I actually get to it, it'll be filled in for whatever week I did accomplish it. So that's what the brain dump is. I got a little sidetracked there. And then, you know, I need to sync a note, make sure that all those tasks that I have in there are backed up. That's something I, not necessarily daily, but you know, I have the app set so that whenever I open up the app and I'm connected to Wi-Fi, for it to sync automatically. So I guess technically, you know, it probably is syncing every day. So that saves me a step. Project journal. This is something else that I probably would do weekly once I figure out what it is I want to do with my project journal. Tickler files is something that I do want to do daily, but I have not been doing. And then my girls' journals, I no longer check my oldest daughter's journal, although I may find that I need to. But I definitely don't think I need to do this on a daily basis. This is probably something weekly as well. My younger daughter's journal, that might have to be daily. So probably daily for my younger daughter and weekly for my oldest daughter, because I think she's getting a hang of planning on her own, which is great. So that's basically my daily routine. And in the near future, in order to make this clear and for you guys to get a feel as to what I do in my planner, I will do a planner in use video specifically for daily review, so that you can get a look at that. And now here are my weekly review tasks that I had made a while back ago, probably when I first was experimenting with bullet journaling and what I needed to do. So here the weekly review, the weekly routine tasks are to set up my recurring tasks. That is not something that I need to do anymore because of this collection that I have back here for my weekly tasks, and I have something for my monthly tasks. I'm sorry, here, these are my weekly tasks, my monthly bills, and some other monthly tasks for personal things, meal planning, and cleaning. And here is a whole nother list of weekly tasks that I want to do. So I no longer need to set those up, but you know, I do need to check them off. So check off completed tasks, migrate on completed tasks, and in this situation, migration is not necessarily needed as much because of the way I have things set up. The task is just there on that page and I can still see it. I see it all the time. So I don't necessarily feel like I need to write and rewrite things to have it be cemented in my head anymore. So this is probably something that, you know, I'm not sure about. That might happen when I run out of space on my weekly collection that I have there of tasks. Check habit tracking again. This isn't really as necessary because, you know, I should have been doing that every week, but this is just kind of like a fail-safe in case I haven't been doing it to check it again. Check project tracking. That's probably in the right place because I didn't want to do it daily. That's probably a weekly thing. Check context collections. Those are my collections in the front that are either at home, at the office. I need to check those and see, if I'm getting those things done. These collections in the back, too, are things in the front, too, are things that I may end up just putting onto the next actions collection that I have right now. I have here check calendars. I need to check my calendar in the front of my journal to make sure I'm not missing any appointments. The check register, that's when I go in my home optimization journal and fill in all of the transactions for the week there. Checking the bills, checking my tickler files if I haven't done that already, but this is actually something I should do every day. And here's another fail-safe, pretty much. And then checking the girls' journals again, that's something that I have, again, another fail-safe. Project journal, this is probably in the right place where it should be. Checking a note, again, something that I should be doing every day, but in case I haven't, it's in the weekly review. And then brain dump, syncing a note, and actual activities. Again, all of these things are basically fail-safes. If I haven't been having a good week, then during the weekly review I can kind of make up for not checking things off every day if I'm able to actually do the weekly review. So now the next set of tasks, and as you can see, they progressively get longer and longer. There's less for me to do every day, and then there's more for me to do during the weekly routine, during the monthly routine, so to speak. So here I have something like what I came up with in the back of my journal with the next actions collection. Here I have my monthly review routine, and I'm checking off each month whether I did these tasks or not. And the first thing I do is set up my monthly chart. And now I'll do a video on this later, but now I set up my monthly chart for 6 weeks. You've probably heard that before. But I'm doing this in Excel now. Before I had it done in Word, but now I'm doing it in Excel, and in Excel it's a lot easier because I don't have to fill in every day of the month, and maybe there is a way to do this in Word too, but I was able to easily drag the dates across the rows so that I can just make several calendars at once without too much work. And I'll do a video on this in the near future as to how I did this. But this is really handy. Now I don't, when I need to make my monthly chart, it's just really easy just gluing this onto a piece of cardstock and doing the whole monthly flip out thing that I do. And I'll link a video for that in case you haven't seen that. So that's that. Let me zoom you back in. Okay, so I set up my monthly chart, and then I do the month view and the week view. And basically the month view is my habit tracking. The week view is what I've been using lately, just this page here. This is my week view. And then I would check off all the completed tasks from the previous week, migrate any uncompleted tasks, that's still relevant. Check calendars, so like my yearly calendar, maybe my Google calendar, or anything else that I might have things written in. But typically I just have everything in my planner. Check context collections, that's again a fail-safe here. In case I didn't do it during my weekly review, I would have it done in the monthly review. and then the check register, bill pay, ticklers, girls journal, project journal, checking A note, brain dumping, syncing A note, actual activities, checking the habit tracking, checking my project tracking, setting up recurring tasks. This was one of the things that I crossed out here. But again, I was going to say all of these things are like redundancies, but they're there just in case I didn't do it for the weekly review. But this would be a good place to check up on the recurring tasks every month or every 6 weeks, checking up on the recurring tasks, seeing what's relevant, seeing if there's anything there that's redundant, and maybe I need to set it up again because I've run out of weeks or something like that. And then cleaning schedule is something else that I did every month, but that's kind of taken care of within that next actions list that I had and my weekly list, my weekly task list. And then checking Mint is something else that I do every month, to zero out all my budgets and stuff like that. So that is basically what my routine is. I'm hoping that this was clear, but in case this was not clear for any of you guys, know that I am going to do 3 different videos showing you my daily review routine actually in progress. Like I'm going to do a planner in use video for my daily review, my daily routine, a planner in use video for my weekly routine, and a planner in use video for my monthly routine, my monthly review. So I might have the weekly routine video up already because I just did that. Actually, I might wait to put that up because the planner in use video that may or may not already be up on YouTube is not complete. So I'm gonna wait for a day, like maybe on a Sunday when the week is complete, and or on a Monday, when everything is done, when there's no possibility of still completing a task for the previous week. I'll wait for that to do a weekly review, weekly routine video so that you can see the full process, because sometimes I might start doing my weekly routine over the weekend, but there's still some tasks that I might be able to check off. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's being true to life or what, but I just want to give you guys a accurate representation of what it is that I do from start to finish. So, sometimes I do bits and pieces at a time, but I want to give you the full process. So that'll be coming up soon. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a great day, week, and month, and year. I'll see you in the next video.